Okay.
What's up, everybody? This is Daryl Bonilla. As you guys know, I've been doing these little talk stories. Last time I talked story with Lorenzo Calendar from Beyond Paradise. He played Ronnie Boy. And
Boy.
now it's my absolute pleasure to welcome and have a conversation with the one and only. You think you good enough to kill a local chick like Lehua? What's up, Priscilla? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm
Nice
good, man.
to
I'm good.
see you. Always nice to see you.
Always
How
nice to see you.
awesome.
Oh, you looking good. Look at your background. What you up to, girl?
I'm at home. When you came and stayed with us.
Yeah, yeah.
House. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that was a nice spot, man. I really appreciate that hookup. That was really cool.
Such a great spot. Yeah.
So as you know, we've been like I said, we tried to do that Zoom reunion and then it never aired. So I was like, man, I still want to talk story with these guys. And I know a lot of our fans are always asking what are we up to and how's everybody and if we still keep in touch. So I was like, you know what, maybe I just do this on my own and talk story with everybody. So hey, tell everybody what you've been up to.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that you decided to do that. What have I been up to? So much. I'm extremely ADHD, so I have to have like 50 plates spinning all at the same time. I do. I do a lot of farming. I am a farmer. I do a lot of honeybee rescue. So I have a company called Wannabe Pono, and because I want to be Pono, I do. I want to be. Not always, but I try. And so I do a lot of honeybee rescue. We get into some really crazy, dangerous situations, which I have to have in my life. I got to have a little bit of danger. It's very attractive to me. And we take bees out of really inconvenient places that people are having issues with. I mean, the bees are not having the issues, it's usually the people. And so I rehome them. I have an apiary, kind of a, pretty nice size apiary. And that's what I spend a lot of time doing is honeybee rescue. And, trying to keep the pollinators around so that we can stay around too.
Awesome. How
Because
long
when
you been
they're
doing that?
gone, I've
How
been
long?
doing
About how long?
about maybe 15 years.
Wow.
Yeah. I was just doing, I read an article like 15 years ago. And when I was retiring from singing and teaching, because I was teaching at Kalakahay High School and Kalakahay Middle School for 15 years. And so I was coming into retiring from singing and from teaching. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do now? I still got all this energy and I need to spend it. So I was reading an article about honeybees and about how they were in trouble and they were down 50% the numbers. And I freaked out because they are like when they're gone, we're soon to follow. And I decided that day that I was going to be part of the solution and no longer part of the problem. And that I would do everything in my ability to help them and not hurt them. And so I went on this fantastic journey from then on. And I started small. I just started with a couple of hives. I just needed to learn. I have friends in Germany that are like generational beekeepers. And so I went to Germany and learned how to do it the European style because they're the original beekeepers. And since then, I've come full circle and realized that many beekeepers and beekeeping best practices are part of the problem. So I try to mesh my own little style into what I've learned, and I don't treat them. I don't treat them with medication because bees are constantly being treated for varroa mite and many other illnesses. And I do a natural style of beekeeping. And I also I have a honey store that started out because I had all this honey because it's a byproduct of the bees. And my family was like, enough with the honey, okay? We're done with your honey. We got enough. So I had to start selling it. So I opened a store with my sister's help, and we sell honey and bee products, and I do bee conservation, honey bee conservation, and rescue. And on top of that, I teach acting classes and vocal lessons to kids.
How many of those kids you teach bring up Beyond Paradise to you?
Everyone.
Every day, right?
Every one of them. Every one of those kids, exactly. Some of them knew before they started with me, and that's why they wanted to. And some of them, after like maybe 3 or 4 lessons, they'll go, Auntie, you know that lady from Beyond Paradise? You know her? I was like, I know her. I do know her.
Yeah.
How good? You know her? I was like, yep, I know her real good.
You ever had the one where people try introduce you to somebody new that never saw the movie? They're like, you don't know who she is.
Yes.
This movie, you gotta watch Beyond Paradise. You gotta.
Just last night. Just last night that happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My housekeeper's boyfriend was like, what are you guys talking about? She's like, oh my God, you got to see this. You have no idea who she is.
And the other person just like,
yeah, whatever.
What is this? So yeah. I know you were already acting. I know you were already doing films. I think you were one of the few. You and Lorenzo were the two that had prior film experience before Beyond Paradise. So tell us a little bit about how Beyond Paradise and Lehua came into your world.
Okay, well, I was living in New York City, and I had just finished a film there. So I had a little bit of a reel for auditions and whatever. And I heard that they were auditioning for this film that was going to be like a feature film in Kona. And I was like, I gotta be in that. And so I came home from New York specifically to audition for Lehua, for Beyond Paradise. And I just, the whole plane ride home, I was like, that's mine. That's mine. That's my role. There's nobody else could do it. That's mine. That's mine. And so I went into the audition, and I was just kind of, I pretty much knew that was mine. And after I met David and the writers, it was between me and I believe the girl who plays your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Plays your mom. Yeah.
Pumai, right? Numai.
Yeah. And I was sending out my vibe, and they chose me, and I was stoked. I was totally stoked.
Wow, so you almost could have been my mom.
I almost could have been your mom. I was looking at that role going, they had me read for that one too. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I could be the mom, I guess.
It's like both you guys had me when you guys were like 6,
Right. Well, Konawaina. I can say that because I went to Konawaina.
That's right. I think you and I think Kalani went there for a year or 2 or something like that. He was there briefly. So right. He was telling us, he was giving us the tour of all the halls that he got beat up in when we were walking around the school. He was like, I got mobbed in this hallway right here.
So true, man. We used to scrap at Konawaina. It was like a constant thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It traumatized me for life, that one.
That's what people don't understand. Like you always had the same energy then that you have now. Like you was always, and that's the thing I was talking about with Lorenzo. Is like that's what made it kind of a fun experience because we all had real good energy. Everybody had a good time. We all was always smiling. Nobody was whining or complaining or grumbling or stuff. We just had
or divaing out.
Yeah, none of that. Yeah.
Where's my light?
And we wouldn't let each other diva out because we would just
razz
each other down until we tumbled again. So we always kind of kept each other in check.
Exactly. I was just thinking about that, about how much fun that was.
Yeah.
That's a really good time. That's probably one of the best jobs. Yeah. No, I could say hands down the best.
I agree.
Environment, the best set, the best director, the best of everything. They fed us good. I mean, they gave me an awesome makeup and hair, which was David's wife. It was really incredible. They treated us extremely well.
Yeah, no, it kind of spoiled me because that was my first film experience. I think before that, I think I did like extra work in a couple of TV shows, but that's it.
Yeah,
So
me
this is
too.
like my first thing, and so I
Right,
was like, oh, this is how it is all the time. And
right.
then you realize not quite.
Yeah, they just really treated us so well. I was so, and they paid us. I
Yeah,
was like, and you guys are gonna pay us?
yeah.
This is not just for like dinner or what?
I was like, is this and this one real movie? And then I started seeing
Yeah,
some of the clips. Like, oh, this one real movie we doing.
yeah,
I never
exactly.
know, right?
You were so great. You were just so classic. You just your improv abilities just blew my mind. I mean, like nobody really has an idea of like how much of your character and how much it contributed to the whole story was just you being you. Like it was like your improv abilities were like blew my mind because that's hard to do, just like make little commentary that just is so perfect for that moment at that time. And it was like, wow. Yeah.
No,
I
that
learned
was fun. Yeah, David was so cool of like kind of giving me that freedom to kind of play, and then yeah, he gave us all
yeah,
that freedom of like this discovering our characters. Even though he wrote
yeah,
it, he allowed us to kind of figure these characters out and give them a piece of us, yeah, like a little bit of ourselves.
totally. Totally. Yeah, it was really cool that, the characters that we were sort of written around, that we get to meet them. I mean, I don't know. Did you get to meet your
No,
guy?
I didn't get to meet the person that I was based off of. I
Oh,
would have
no
loved
kidding.
to.
Yeah, I know. It was really great. I got to meet the girl that I was based off of. I was like, she's really hot. Okay. I was a little intimidated after that, but I mean, what a nice woman. She was a beautiful, beautiful lady. I think her name was Cinnamon.
Well,
Cinnamon. I know.
cinnamon, and now you are
And
honey.
she was all that. And, she
Cinnamon meets
was.
honey, honey meets cinnamon. And it what was your favorite scene of yours in the movie? And what was maybe your favorite scene overall?
I think that my favorite scene in the movie of my scenes, because I have a few of scenes that I wasn't in, that I was sitting underneath the camera just like, oh my god, they are such good actors. But the favorite I think that I have of with me in it was the one of us scrapping outside the surf shop, that was actually filmed in California. They added that one
Yeah.
where I throw my big shoe at the truck and kick it and leave a dent. I think that was the most real scene for me. I mean, I worked hard at like trying to be natural and trying to really just be vulnerable and allow this person to hurt me, in my heart, so that it could come off as authentic.
Yeah.
And let me tell you what, I would, we practiced it about 12 times, like reverse. Okay, here's the camera. No, stop here. And you fight it, da, 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 you get thrown out here. Okay, again, come back, go there, hit the mark, and so like we had to go over it like 12 times. And I kept telling the guy, the actor, I can't remember his name too, because
Garrett.
it was the
Garrett
only scene he was
Sato.
in. Oh, is that who it was?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I was like, hey, I really want this to come off as like, authentic. So like, I'm tough. Just manhandle me, just like, grab me and throw me out of the truck. I mean, I want it to be real. So like, let's scrap, bro. Let's do this. And he was like, okay. And I was like, all right. So we did another practice, and he was just kind of not. And I was all, no, for real, I can handle. So like, if you want to like crack me, I'll crack you back, but it'll be real. I really want this to be authentic. And he was like, okay, I get it. Okay. And I was like, all right, whatever. So we reverse, and David says, okay, this one is a take. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. Action. If the guy never just grabbed me, shake me up, crack me, everything, I was just and throw me, kick me out of the truck, everything. And I was like, I was manhandled. I was like, violated. So it was real and it was like shocking for me. And it was like, it all came off exactly the way I wanted it to come off. And I was shocked that he actually did like grab me and like kick me with his leg out the door. And I was fell down. It was like, I cried the whole night after that. After we went home and it was wrapped, we only did one take. That was the only take we did. And I went home and cried the whole night after that. I was like, and my boyfriend beat me up. And okay, hypochondriac chick. But yeah, that was probably my favorite scene with me in it. And then my favorite scene overall was the scene where I got two favorite scenes overall. So it was the first one is the scene where Lorenzo is in jail at the end.
Yeah.
And he cries watching the video, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting underneath the camera. I just like, propped myself underneath there, trying to be real quiet and watched him go through all the emotions that he went through watching that video. And I was just crying. And like, I think they had to tell me, cut, Priscilla, stop it. And I was like, oh, because it was so real. Like I couldn't believe what a great actor he was. And it made me cry sitting there watching him cry. And then he taught me how to cry. He taught me how to bring on the tears, and always be grateful for that. But that was my first favorite. And my second favorite was the one of all you guys out on the water. When you guys are all on the water and look that owly boy, look at him. He don't know how to surf. He looks stupid or whatever you're saying. I love that scene. And then, of course, the classroom scene was.
Yeah, the classrooms was always fun because we had a lot of extras and they loved being there. And then we were having fun.
Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that scene with Lorenzo. I remember because that was like his scene, like throughout the filming. That's the one he was always like it was ahead. Yeah, so he was already thinking of that scene.
Yeah.
Like, he was always preparing for that scene from the day one,
wow.
to the day he got to that scene.
Yeah.
He knew that was a real big moment for the character and for him as an actor to really.
Absolutely. It, Yeah, absolutely. It was like so impressive in person too,
Yeah.
But it did pick up well, I think, on film.
No, it did.
Yeah. Yeah, that was great. That was such a great experience. So much fun. So I hear talk about like a Beyond Paradise 2. What's that? What happened?
Yeah, I know everybody's been talking about it for a while, and then there's some rumblings about it and stuff like that. So but you know how it is, right? Everything is talk until
it's done.
Until you stay on set for that first day of shooting, and that's when it becomes a reality. Other than that, it's just all talk.
Yes.
But it would be fun. I mean, it would be fun to see everybody again in person and kind of step in the shoes of these characters again and kind of see where they're at almost 30 years later. You know what I mean?
Right.
To see how they're kids and now they're adults now and
what happens?
Yeah, what happened to
them? Do you ever think about what happens to your character?
I kind of put it. I think he got straight. I think
so too.
I think he went kick it.
Yeah.
But I think he always kind of has that struggle with always going back. But I think he went clean himself up.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think he becomes like a role model and like, does
look
good.
out for the kids kind. Like
he makes good. Yeah, look out for the kids kind.
Like he's the uncle that teaches the kids now in the neighborhood, like, hey, that's not how you do it,
Right. I already did that. I know.
You guys don't even know.
Exactly.
You guys don't even know, bro. I was stealing branches in Pakalolo for years.
Running from bullets. You don't even know.
I don't even know. Booby traps, bro. Rasta mans,
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that'll be kind of fun for Do. I think as long as, like you say, there's a story for it, and I know,
I think there's a market for it.
Yeah, plant the seeds to David a little bit. And,
when we did that reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know him and Lorenzo were talking more about that, and so I'm writing a screenplay too on the side. In my spare time.
Nice.
And I was thinking, uh that I would like to like maybe, I don't know, just try my little hand at like writing a couple scenes out or just doing a summary or something and just, kind of seeing where the imagination leads you. And I think it's a great idea that maybe we all should kind of write a little maybe summary of where our characters went, what
Yeah.
happened, and come together and see if we're all in sync. I think that would be a really fun project to work
Yeah.
on.
You see, like
Yeah,
like where David sees the characters and see if it kind of lines up with what we think happened
right,
to our characters and stuff like
right.
that. Because I always think of all the characters, I go, I think this is what happened with this character.
Uh-huh.
I think this is what happened to this character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But to see it play
What do
out
you think?
again,
I
you
think
go,
Lehua had like 8 kids or something.
and then, what, 8 kids, what, 7 daddies?
Yeah, exactly.
That's just- one of one of my big regrets on Beyond Paradise is that I never really had any real one-on-one scenes with you.
I know, right? We never
Yeah.
did have
I think
any.
we had that one group scene, but I think they cut it from the final cut, the one where the one we all kind of sitting at lunch or something, and we all kind
Yeah,
of get that awkward silence because you and your character and Mark's character just had that misunderstanding.
right,
And you
right.
guys just
And they
started, and
cut
then
that.
all of us is kind of awkward about it. Yeah, I think
Right,
that was the only one I had where I had some little bit interaction besides the classroom scene.
right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
would have been fun.
yeah. That's such a bummer. It really is a bummer.
That's why we make up for it in the sequel.
I don't think so did I have any just with Mark? I think. I don't think I had any with any of you guys. You're like
Yeah, just
one of
most of
these.
your stuff was with Mark.
Uh-huh.
You had a little bit stuff with Zulu with Kalani.
Did I?
Just a
Maybe.
brief one where he see you at the
Oh
graduation,
yeah, that's right.
and then
And it
the
comes
one
it comes
after the one where he after my nightmare scene he kind of greets you real quick. So real
right.
quick stuff, but most of your interaction was
Yeah, with just with
with
Mark.
Roy. Yeah,
But it was really, I mean, but I was there, most
yeah.
of the time just watching you
Oh, you
guys.
were so supportive. You were like, I remember you was always like just watching us and like
Yeah,
he was like our biggest fan. It was like so good for our ego.
totally. Totally. Your cheerleader.
Yeah, yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that was a really good time. Good memory. Because like I have because it's on Prime right now,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Beyond Paradise is on Prime. I have another movie on Prime as well right now, which is like, what?
I went through. I think I seen it. I went through. Especially during the pandemic, I
Yeah,
was finding all these like old like local movies or movies with you guys and
yeah,
with
yeah.
Troy and I was just like I went down the depot. So I finally saw your movie, the trauma film,
The
Bug.
bug.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fine example. We're going to pay you, but it's a deferred payment, and but we're going to feed you. We're going to feed you well, and we're going to house you during the time that we are filming, and it's going to be great. Deferred. Yeah, but yeah, that was a classic.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
And we all had to stay in this house, like because it was cold, it was wintertime. So we all had to stay in this like roundhouse that they rented like in the Poconos up in Pennsylvania. And I was the only non-black in the film. And so, they never liked me too much. Some of the girls were a little bit aggro towards me. I was like, look I understand. I come from the same kind of thing. But my ancestors were like paddling the Pacific Ocean during that time. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't me. But yeah.
What was the other? Was that the movie you was referencing, or was there another
Yeah.
one you can look?
The bug
Oh, I was
movie.
gonna say if there's another, I'm gonna look it up as soon as we get off this Zoom.
So what are you doing? Are you gonna be like, are you writing one? Are you gonna make a local film? Are you gonna make a film?
I don't know if I would. I'm just like you. I would love to dabble and try to write something. I always get ideas, but then
Yes.
it's that moment of I gotta start writing because
Yes.
once I start, then I won't stop and I'll finish it. But
Right.
it's that initial
Yeah.
putting pen to paper.
You got to force yourself.
Yeah.
How I started writing my screenplay was I took a class. I took a screenplay writing class, and I had to have homework finished at the end of each class. I had homework, and that forced me to just start writing anywhere. like anywhere in the story. And it worked out well. It forced me to do it, or else I would still be today going, I really wanna.
I feel like I'm more like the guy who would sit down with somebody and go, here's my idea.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
you write it.
would be me too. But nobody wanted to listen.
Yeah.
They were like, I know, I already heard this
Oh,
story.
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I still act, you know what I mean? I still do what I can. So whenever I can get an audition, I've been doing a lot of voiceover stuff more recently, which is fine. I love doing the voiceover stuff.
Yeah,
And then I still do, stand-up comedy, here and there. So
yeah. I
yeah.
know. I've seen some of your stuff on Instagram. Yeah, you
Yeah.
are so good. You're
And you
just
guys
so
came
good.
out. We like I remember when I came out to
Yeah,
Big Island and you and Pancho came out for watching.
yeah,
That was super
totally.
fun. Yeah, that was super fun to get to see you guys. Because I think that was the first time I saw you since the movie.
Since the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Time. It
Yeah.
just burns, man. It just keeps going.
Yeah, you look back and you go, oh wow, that was a while ago.
That was a while ago.
Yeah.
It's so funny that people still watching.
Yeah.
Like people still watch it.
And they're still discovering it, right? So like
Yeah.
you get this whole new generation of kids that just started watching the movie and saw it, and now that's their movie now.
Well, they played in the schools here on the Big Island. It's social studies class. It is a social study.
Yeah.
And so, I still get, mostly teenagers, early 20s going, hey, Lady from Beyond Paradise, huh? And it's usually when I'm like, hammers, just hammer jang, hair up in a bun, all dirty, just all, yeah, 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 that's me.
And then what is the line that people give you the most of yours? That
Hey, you think you're good enough for a killer chick like Lehua? That's Lehua. Oh my gosh, my daughter lives in Oahu, and she works at the legislature, and she, when she was still going to college, she was working at this beer company, and she videotaped and sent to me this girl, this just totally drunk as a skunk, doing that whole scene. And it was so classic. I love it, love it, love it. I still go back and watch it like every now and then. But people remember that scene and that line so much. And so, like, yeah, it's probably one of my favorite lines. and Mark Thompson.
Yeah, that's the one I get all the time.
Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That for me is that and Rastaman Be Pissed
Oh yeah.
is the two I get out of. I was like, I kind of, yeah. But then they go, hey, that's the character. You gotta I think that's what I looked at it when I did Cal. I was like, I cannot care what people think of me. As far as like, I cannot worry about being embarrassed
Yeah.
about how I look or how I sound. Just playing.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's kind of my attitude.
That's, have you had any like formal like acting training or anything?
Just yeah, I did all theater. So I did high school drama throughout high school, and then I was doing a lot of theater. I just did theater a lot before I did Beyond. In fact, I was doing a play when I got Beyond Paradise, and we were like a week and a half away from opening. I had to tell the director that I had to tell him that the I gotta drop out, and he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Oh, I got casted in one movie," and he was like, is it a decent role? I go, it's one of the leads. And he's like, oh, go for it, man. And then,
oh, that's so nice.
No, he was super cool. And then
so
when the
nice.
movie came out and he came to the premiere at the film festival, then he came up to me and he congratulated me and he told me, he was like, I'm glad you didn't drop out of the play for do that movie. So yeah, he was super cool. So that was the only experience I had was like doing theater.
Because you nailed it. I mean, like you channeled that character. You totally did.
I think we all did. Same as you. I remember the first scene I was watching you film was the where you talked to Roy Mark at the locker room.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching because I never meet you formally yet, besides the table read. So
right.
And I remember I introduced myself, I think after that, and I was like kind of raving about you, and I was like, "Wow, you're so good." What was your impression? How was it? Like, what was your first impression of like the actors? Like your first time you met everybody, whether it was Roy, Kalani, and Lorenzo.
Well, I mean, I thought Lorenzo was hot. I thought that I think I knew Kalani before, so I had a little impression of Kalani already. I thought you were hilarious. I thought that Mark Thompson was perfect for his role, and I thought that it was just extremely well casted. Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought it was really well casted, and I thought they did a really good job with personifying the characters because I just read it and I was like, wow, who are these people going to be? I was very curious about who the other people were going to be, And then when I met everybody, I was like, okay, we're going to do this. Let's do this. And I thought everybody was extremely able and talented. And yeah, it just kind of blew me away of how much talent was right here in Hawaii, like right here. So
I love that. The fact that everybody in that cast, except for Roy, was all from Hawaii.
yeah.
Everybody, even the other Holly characters were from Hawaii.
Even the other Holly characters.
So everybody was local actors in
Yes.
terms of they was all from Hawaii. And so they never they never bring in the mainland people that look local. There was all people that was
right.
From,
you would think that would just be not happening anymore, but it still is. And it's so disappointing because there is enough talent here. There are enough talented actors and actresses here that, I mean, some of them might be living in LA, but they're from here and they're Hawaiian. They're from here. I think that's fine to hire somebody who's, living in a place that's got more work. But from here, but to bring them in from, wherever, New Zealand, why are you doing that? The mainland, why?
I always think it's cheaper too, because you don't have to pay for plane ticket. You don't have
place to stay.
Right there, they can drive to the set, so you don't have to pay nothing.
Nothing. Exactly. It's definitely more economical.
Yeah, because even like for Beyond Planets, a lot of the actors were from Big Island. I think only a few of us, I think maybe like 4 or 5 of us was actually from Oahu.
Yeah, totally. And a lot of I really appreciated that a lot of the extras, did other work on the film. Like they were like doing the back behind the camera stuff as well, and even working craft service and like they were working double time when they weren't in front of the camera. So that was really cool. I appreciated how able and willing everybody was to make it happen. That was very cool.
One of the Holly guys that greets Mark was my official joint roller. He would roll all my joints.
Oh, no ways.
So every time I needed one joints, he was the one that
was he the one with the curly hair or the one
had the dreads? The one had the dreads.
Yeah, the one with the dreads. Yeah.
The one that was like something about you never know who's related. That guy.
Yeah. Don't look at him like that. Yeah, that one.
Don't look at them, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, he made all my joints and all my bongs and everything.
That is so funny. I had no idea.
Yeah, that was his official title.
Well, that's funny. That's cool.
So what you got coming up? Anything coming up that we can keep an eye on? Besides, like you want to plug where people can find Wannabe Pono and stuff?
Wannabe Pono is online, wannabepono.com. And if you're ever in Kona, I have a store in Kainaliu. Yeah, I mean, it's all about bees and honey and all the good stuff that bees do and make. They're like so amazing. What else? I have an acting workshop coming up on the 19th of this month in Waikoloa, through Focus International. And I'm painting my roof as soon as the rain stops. Anybody wants to come help? That's what's going on. What about you?
Just day by day, man. Just I got my work, which I love my job and stuff like that. And then like I said, whenever I can still perform and do comedy or do any kind of acting or voiceover, I'll jump at it and stuff like that. And
right, we got to drag Kalani into an interview. Like
I gotta. That's gonna be my mission statement is one of these is gonna be with Kalani. I'm gonna find that guy wherever he is, and I'm gonna get him on this Zoom.
I see him. I gotta bound and gag him, drag him.
Yeah, he's like, bro, we got We gotta let people know what's going on with Zulu.
He's doing super well. I
Yeah,
mean, he's a captain, boat captain. He's got like a few boats now,
um,
and
yeah,
he take like catamarans, beautiful catamarans. The Kona style is one of them. And he's just, gracious as ever. Always like giving local people like the break, or, like my niece, we had to scatter her ashes, and in, he just loved on us, took us all out on his boat and just did that for us just because he's Kalani.
no, he was such a cool dude to have on set. He had such good vibes. He was always like positive and fun, and just he was like that kid in the candy store, just like enjoying every moment of
Yeah.
everything, everybody, right? Yeah, he
Yeah.
was. Yeah, so it's just
Yeah.
so it's fun. Like and like I said, he was a good audience. So like he liked to laugh. So and he entertained me. So it was always me and him always had fun whenever we had scenes together and stuff like that. We just crack each other up.
He used to do just the darndest things to me.
Yeah, he was a character on
Yeah,
and off camera.
exactly. On and on. Yeah. Oh, bro. Remember that time we all went to California? We took
Yeah,
those promo shots on the beach.
yeah,
That was cool.
that was fun.
Yeah, that was a fun time.
That was like Big Island 90210 action with
Yeah,
big
it really was. It really was. It was
with our
like
little
I
photo
was feeling
shoots.
like, wow, man, I think we may have made it.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're here in the
We
beaches
made
of.
it.
But I remember going there because that's our first time to LA and going. Now I know what people are talking about. Like it's sunny, it's bright, but it's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it was super cold.
Yeah. And
It
on the
was fun,
beach,
man.
I mean, we could wear all our clothes on the beach and we
Yeah,
were still cold. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But that was fun, man. Like I said, I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to talk story. I know all the fans are going to enjoy seeing you again. You're as lovely as ever. Still got the same energy. You haven't aged a bit.
Oh my gosh.
And
I wish
so,
that
yeah,
was
yeah. So
true.
thank you so much for taking time. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Always, whenever you
Yeah.
need. Yeah.
We can always do a part two on this as well. You know what I mean? If people want it, we'll do it again.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
I'm down.
because I know get more stuff we can talk about.
Yeah.
Spill some
So
tea,
many.
spill some tea, spill some tea.
Spill some tea. So many cool moments.
Yeah,
Absolutely. On set,
yeah.
on and off set
And
with
hopefully,
all of
hopefully, yeah,
us.
maybe one day we see each other for Beyond Paradise too. All right. Well, you
All
take
right.
care. You be good,
You,
okay?
you too.
All right,
Love you.
bye. Yeah, love
Bye.
you too.